Our next starting quarterback who is named, he is the starting quarterback, the 40-year-old for the Cleveland Browns. What'd Kevin Stefanski say? He praised his leadership, preparedness in camp and practices, saying he has earned the job. Now, he was going against a couple rookies who are just learning the ropes.
And an injured Kenny Pickett.
And Kenny Pickett, who's not playing right now. And so I'm not going to say it was by default.
Right.
I mean, you can say that. But Joe Flacco is, at least right now, the starting quarterback for the Browns.
I know. I wonder what the original plans were, right? That's the one thing I can't wait to hear or know when things settle down and I'll find out. Because I always kind of felt like, man, Kenny Pickett, I think it might be the starter day one when we started training camp and all of that. Yeah. Right? Hey, he's the guy that's kind of in the prime of his career, does have some untapped potential. Let's see what he's got here, right? I was kind of expecting that. But I think between the injuries of everybody and Joe Flacco being able to practice and, of course, his experience, I don't want to say one by default either, but there was no other options, I don't think, either.
Yeah.
You weren't going to throw out like Dylan Gabriel, who just played one preseason game and missed a week of practice and do that. Shedeur Sanders, the same thing. One good game, then he missed a week of practice because of the oblique, and I'd be so shocked if he can play this week because obliques are annoying as a thrower. I mean, you know that. Twisting and rotating, you can't do that without your obliques.
Me of all people.
Right, yeah, you of all people should know that, right? I mean, the high-quality athlete you are. So, no, I think after the last 2 weeks of stuff going on, I saw this coming. I think we all did. We all felt like Joe Flacco was going to be the starter here.
Yeah.
Now, this is one where I think you can legitimately go, yeah, but for how long?
Yep.
Right? Because this is a team that I don't look at to go like the Indianapolis Colts where I go, well, the Colts they got potential. They're on one of those short list teams where you go, we're not making them to go to the playoffs, but they're one of those few teams you go, they got enough parts there to be a playoff team, right?
Yeah. You don't feel like that.
I don't feel like that with Cleveland. I don't.
Strong defense.
Strong
Myles
defense,
Garrett.
some stuff there, some pain in the butts that way. But, yeah, everything that they're doing and what shows me is they're kind of retooling, rebuilding on the run here. Mm-hmm. That's what it seems like to me. Right? So Flacco, a little bit like we just talked about with Daniel Jones, right off the bat, I mean, hey, they play some defenses. The Bengals not very good, but the Ravens, Packers, and Lions after that, and the Vikings, which are crazy and do a bunch of stuff. Yeah. That's where you go with the older guy and Flacco because you're going to feel comfortable with him, again, orchestrating the offense against some really crazy stuff on the defensive side of the ball. But this is one where I sit here and go, yeah, I have a hard time believing that he's the starter for the whole year. At some point, everybody's going to want to see one of these young guys. The team's going to want to see it to see if one of them's the future or if they have to dive back into the draft and try to draft somebody that way. I don't know. So that's where I just don't expect Joe Flacco to make it the whole year now.
So do they keep all these guys?
I think they are. I think they
find a way to keep them all four.
Unless they found like a great trade package maybe for a Kenny Pickett. If they got comfortable enough with Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur to go, hey, they can be 2 and 3. I don't care what the order is.
Yeah.
If they can play good enough to where it's not going to be a disaster. They're not going to be overwhelmed, right? I could see them having those conversations if they felt comfortable with those two, right? And then going, hey, there might be a team or two that need a backup that might trade us a 5th-round pick or something like that for Kenny Pickett. Do we want to take it? That's what I could see happening. I mean, I see that could be a potential, but that depends on how comfortable they feel behind the scenes about Gabriel and Shedeur. I'm expecting all 4. I think I expect
you can
all
do
4.
that, though? I mean, roster spots are so valuable.
I know, yeah.
Some teams are like, do we even keep 3?
We're going to talk about a team in a minute right after, or the Giants are another team that might end up keeping 4. I don't know where this goes. I don't know if some of these teams, maybe they're posturing as far as just like, we're going to keep 4 so we get better trade offer, whatever it is there. But yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, I think they're not getting rid of the 2 rookies. That's not happening.
I think potentially it could.
And that's where I get to the Pickett situation.
Kenny Pickett is, he's injured, but for Joe Flacco, you can see a scenario where, how long is he the starting quarterback? And if he's no longer the starting quarterback, does he have a role on the team?
Does somebody like go, hey, or does he go, hey, just release me. This team needs me as a backup or whatever else.
If it's a developmental year anyway, and you're just like, we want to get a look at the other 2 quarterbacks.
I think anything could be. Yeah, somebody gets hurt or whatever else as a starter, and they want Joe Flacco. Maybe when they're getting to the point where they're going, hey, let's see what Shedeur's got or Dylan Gabriel's got. Maybe they trade him. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe, like I said, maybe Kenny Pickett becomes that guy here in the next week or so to see how this all shakes out. There are some teams that I think are being very dicey with their backup quarterback situations. The Dallas Cowboys being one, the team, the shirt you're wearing being another. Like, I definitely would not go, oh, yeah, I'm the Detroit Lions. We're in the Super Bowl window. I feel good with Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker if Jared Goff goes down for 4 or 5 games. Yeah. No freaking way, right? So those are the type of teams we're talking about there. I go, you can't gamble. You need to get a real backup there. And maybe they would be a team that would call Cleveland for Kenny Pickett. But, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, Amon. But I think all 4 are going to be there.
They say if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. What about if you have 4 quarterbacks? Need a whole new saying for that.
Yo, homies. What's up? Thanks for watching Cris Simms Unbuttoned. And just because the weather's warm doesn't mean football ain't still on our brains right here.
We are still working, so smash that subscribe button. We got all the training camp news, preseason news, everything up until kickoff night.
Thanks for watching. And again, remember to hit that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.